Good people, how are you? I hope you're all doing good. Now, this one is a video I'm going to react very fast, and this video is about Nico Buddha, Farmer Isa Mayugno, and the whole drama about the money that was sent via Farmer Isa's account and what transpired later on. Now, this is a very interesting one because Nico Buddha, I believe, and Mayugno, I could be wrong, but rumors has it that they are Tanzanians, and being Tanzanians, they could not have obtained legal documents to even obtain a SIM card. Now, in Kenya, there's something we call a SIM card. Now, without that SIM card, you cannot transact using the M-Pesa. Now, what I believe, Nico Buddha needed somebody with a Kenyan ID so that he can receive money through the Western Union via that other person's national ID and other documents so that money can be transferred to him. So in this case, Farmer Isa was the guy who provided and allowed Nico Buddha to use his documents so that he can receive money in his account. Nonetheless, um, issues do happen, friendships do end, people change their mind, a lot of things do happen. And in this case, what I believe happened is that could be in my own assumption, Farmer Isa could have felt that perhaps he has been benefiting Nico Buddha for a long time, but in return, he does not benefit. Remember, Farmer Isa has a similar number of subscribers to that of Nico Buddha. But again, Nico Buddha has got very effective donors. Now, with effective donors, this means that Nico Buddha is more likely to receive more donor money. He's likely to receive a lot of support from the donors, and all that money will be directed to Farmer Isa's account. So the most unfortunate thing is, Farmer Isa will go and look at the transactions that follow, all the transactions that go through his account, yet he's not benefiting. I mean, anybody would be feeling some kind of way. Anybody would feel some type of way. So in this case, Farmer Isa may have what Farmer Isa said is that he tried to solve that matter with Nico Buddha. He actually called Nico Buddha and asked Nico Buddha to stop using his account to make transactions. Unfortunately, Nico Buddha, I don't think he took that serious, and he was wrong for that. We have to call a spade a spade. He was wrong on that. Nonetheless, the most stupid decision that Farmer Isa made was to request the bank to withhold the money so that Nico Buddha does not get access to that money. Remember, that money was not actually meant Nico Buddha. It was meant for grandma's house. It was meant to finish the outdoor kitchen for grandmother's house. You guys remember Brian's grandmother. So that money was initially meant for that project. So again, the person who sent that money would question, I sent the money, but I do not see you going on with the project. What's going on? What's the explanation here? And I believe that that's what really pissed off Nico Buddha, because the money is there. Farmer Isa has confirmed that he has withdrawn the money. And I'll explain that withdrawing that money was the most stupid thing that Farmer Isa did in this case. Because there could have been the right procedure to follow so that Farmer Isa is not implicated in all that shenanigans. So let's dive into this. Farmer Isa has all the rights to request Nico Buddha to no longer use his documents for one reason: safety and the legality of the matter. Now, the fact that former Isa had allowed Nico Buddha to be using his documents could be termed illegal. Again, the fact that former Isa allowed Nico Buddha to use his documents is risking his account. One, if for some reason there's a scam going through former Isa's account, then former Isa will be liable for every legal action. So former Isa had all the right reasons to request Nico Buddha to no longer use his account to receive money from donors. Unfortunately, though, these two seems to, have had a very effective and working relationship initially, but I kind of feel and I kind of think that former Isa may have felt jealous and selfish by the fact that this guy is receiving a lot of money because $500 in Kenya, that's a lot of money. That's some money that's money that can feed a family of 10 for 3 good weeks. That's a lot of money. It's not what you think. It's not just $500 because we are talking about around 55,000 Kenyan shillings. Now with 50,000 Kenyan shillings, that's a lot of money here in this economy. So imagine 50,000, 55,000 Kenyan shillings passing through my account, but I'm not going to benefit in any way. So in other words, I'm a channel that is benefiting Nico Buddha, but I do not benefit. And I think the way Farmer has handled the whole situation is stupid in some type of way. Because if I were a Farmer Isa, I would have called Nico Buddha a long time ago and request him, anytime you withdraw money from my account, I have to charge you 5%. I don't care whether that money is used for a project or not. As long as it's coming through my account, I have to charge you 5%. And that 5%, it's okay. Because you see, if you have like 300,000 coming to your account and I have my 5%, then I'm getting some good amount of money by allowing you to use my documents to get that money. You understand up to that point? Now, the other stupid thing that farmer is made is withdrawing and requesting the banker or the bank to send him that money, to withdraw and send him that money. So, farmer Isa, you have Nico Buddha's money that is meant for a project for Goko. That means all the people who have subscribed there are watching and looking at you as a fool. Because the reason as to why Gogo's project is not going on is because you have the money and you've refused to send that money. Now, for majority of Kenyans, they understand that if you have the money with you, you can easily send that money to. You could have even sent it to Ayamaro, you could have sent it to Mayugno, you could have sent it to even Nico Buddha now that he has a new number. But in this case, you decided because you have your own personal issues, you'd rather hold that money. And once you hold that money, Nico Buddha has no access. Nico Buddha cannot do anything without that money. Now that puts you in a very jeopardizing situation. If I were you, this is what I would have done. I would have gone to the bank, or rather called the bank, request them to refund the money to the donor so that I am not implicated in any way. So if money is sent back to the donor will call Nico Buddha and ask him, what happened? I sent money and that money has been sent back to me. And Nico Buddha will have an easy time explaining to the donor, okay, if you're sending money to me, don't use that number anymore. That number is under investigation, or that number did not belong to me initially. That I'm Tanzanian and that guy is Kenyan. And since the projects we're doing are here in Kenya, that means if you send me money, I can only receive it using a Kenyan number. And at that time, I did not have the Kenyan number. So if I were from Isa, I would have sent that money back. And once I send that money back, I will, I will be, I will not be implicated in this whole shenanigans. So Nico Buddha will be left dealing with the bank, with the donor. Now, Farmer Isa made a video, and after making that video, he claimed that Nico Buddha is insulting him, and he's already damaged his reputation, which is a fact that's true. Uh, you see, when your name is dragged online, and especially if I'm the one who's running the narrative, and I'll give you an illustration where sometimes the person who is running the narrative has a win. Now, I need you to think about the incidents between Mayugno, Ayamarwa, and Nico Buddha with the land issue. The person who came with those news is Ayamarwa. So Ayamarwa was the one who is running the narrative. Again, Ayamarwa has more subscribers than any of those other people. That means he has the ability to tell the story from his perspective. Even if he may have made a mistake, Ayamarwa has the upper hand. He has the advantage because he can tell that story and he can run the narrative. He has the theme, he has the motive, he has the setting, he has everything. So that story will benefit him. Now, if Mayuguno is going to come and tell his side of story, or if Nico Buddha is going to come and tell his side of story, all those will appear as if they are defending themselves. And I like the way Nico Buddha did last time. He just allowed the story to go and then settle down. Now that was a hard one. I'll give you another illustration. You guys, you all know if you've been watching a lot of Nyabuhansa content, you understand that Ayamara's horses were injured. One of the horses had an accident, and Max Brand, the horse trainer, the professional horse trainer, was having the horse. And then they were involved in an accident. The horse broke its leg, and Max Bryan had an issue with the neck. Now, what ended up happening is that Aya Marwa spoke in his channel and he ran the narrative his own way. He even claimed that Max Bryan had caused another farm, he had had a similar issue from his previous job. So that was Aya Marwa running the narrative. So the audience at that time, the audience and majority of his followers, they side with him. Majority of his subscribers, his viewers, they side with him, and they do make some crazy allegations majority of the times. But in this incident, what I realized is that Max Bryan, as much as he was timid, because there's an interview he did with JT podcast, and he was threatened. He even signed a contract under threat. Now, what I've realized is that Max Bryan responded by going to the previous places of work. He made videos in those previous places of work, and with those videos, it was evident that Ayamaro was lying, and Ayamaro has never made that claim any other time because he made a claim that Max Bryan had injured another horse in the previous premises of work, and that was a lie. That was a lie that was caught. And then there's also information that Ayamara did not reveal when he was making that video. And even when he made a video yesterday, because yesterday we at least he showed the horse, and it was that horse has been badly injured. I don't see how it's going to recover in that situation. But I don't know. That's up to him. So I believe The person running the narrative in most cases has the upper hand. If I come and start making claims, then I'm going to have an upper hand in the initially. So the one who is defending, if you're defending your situation, at times, like in the Max Bryan issue, you need to come with proper evidence. And it was evident that Max Bryan was not fired in the previous place of work. In fact, he had worked for quite some time. The first place he worked for 2 years, and then the other place he worked for about 6 months before he was called to go and work with at Ayamaros. Now, what does that tell you? The first thing Farmer Isa should have learned is anytime you're coming to defend yourself, you need to have proper evidence. Now, that call with Mayugno did not help your situation because I listened to the whole video, and Mayugno seems to be way matured than I thought because he was looking at this whole situation from both perspectives. He's looking at them as brothers. Farmer Isa, you're the older one, and Nicole Buddha, you are the younger brother to Farmer Isa. So Farmer Isa, the only thing he was concerned with is, you're dragging my name under the mud. You're just making vague claims and destroying my reputation, which can affect my viewership. It can also affect my brand. It can also affect me as an individual because people are going to look at me as a scammer. And that was the only concern that Farmer Isa had. He's not concerned by the fact that he's holding money. Yes, he accepts that he has the money, but he does not see it wrong to have somebody else's money that was not meant for him and refusing to send that money to Nico Buddha. And that's a situation that can drag him in mud proper. That's a terrible and a stupid mistake. If I were him, I would have gone to Nico Buddha, or rather, I would have organized and traveled all the way to Nyabohanse. Once I reach in Nyabohanse, I call Nico Buddha, we make a video, I present the money to him, and you see Nico Buddha going, buying the materials, and coming back to complete Gogo's house. It was as simple as that. But since these Nyabohanse and these guys in the village who won't make content, they want to have views, all they do is, make sure they are creating drama because drama drives traffic and people love drama. People want to see drama. But the problem with drama is that there's always somebody is going to be the villain and someone who is going to suffer in the end because people take sides. Like on this one, I would not have wanted to take sides. I would have wanted to be very neutral. But even as much as I want to be neutral, I do not see Farmer Issa making any sense at all. And the fact that he's older than Nico Buddha, he seems to be making a very stupid mistake for holding that money. Where I agree with him is that he should ensure that Nico Buddha no longer uses his documents to have access to his bank account. So donors, whoever is going to donate money, can use Nikobuda's uh, number directly instead of relying on Farmer Isa. Other than that, I don't know. Mayugno claimed they're going to Kisii, they're going to get the money, and then they're going to solve all that thing. And hopefully, we're going to see that happen. If it doesn't happen, fine. But let's wait. Let's hope everything's going to turn out positively because 2026, I guess people should avoid a lot of drama for that sake. Other than that, I'm going to wish you a very lovely Sunday. God bless you. And we'll see you in the next one. Hopefully, yesterday I did not watch a lot of content, so I cannot really react to a lot of content. Again, I'm trying to avoid some of these content creators. Um, their content does it's not building me. I don't like a lot of negativity. I only want to sometimes limit myself to content that I believe I should uh, react on. Like yesterday on that issue of Ayamaro and Max Bryan. The revelation that Max Bryan made from that video they did with JT Podcast was really telling. It was really telling and revealing the actual and the true character of Ayamaro. The guy we see on the camera is not the same guy we see off camera. Those are two different individuals. Even though I kind of feel he's slowed down emotionally because, he doesn't have a lot of pressure. I believe when Rocio was in the villa, there was a lot of pressure. There must have been a lot of pressure between the two. Two different cultures, two different personalities. And with newborn, there must have been a lot of conflicts here and there. And we shall see how things are going to turn out. But for the last, I think 2 or 3 days, Rocio has not actually uploaded any video, and people are really waiting to see what she's going to upload and what she's going to say in that video. Is she going to Argentina and stay there for long, or what is going to happen? Other than that, 2026 is a year where I expect and I hope I'm going to be uploading videos every day, not just reaction videos, but videos that I feel I can upload and help my channel to grow as I continue looking for a specific niche for my content because I really need to grow this channel. And maybe at some point, I'll focus on one thing and one line for as long as I'm going to live because the world has chosen everything has to be online, everything has to be on the internet. So I just have to be very careful and play by the rules. Other than that, you guys, I wish you a lovely, lovely Sunday. Today's on a Sunday, very early in the morning. Um, Thanks for my. I love this shirt. I've been on this shirt for quite some time, but the thing is, I just love it, and I hope I'm going to get more. Other than that, cheers, and I'm wishing you the very best. Bye.